What is going on, guys? What is going on? I'm Jada Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about, again, this particular female here. Her name is Mahek Buhkari. Now, I actually spoke about her before. I did a video about her before, I believe it was last year. And I spoke about her being arrested for running two men off the road and ending their lives. How it was done on purpose. Because in my video, I believe I stated that she may have had a relationship with one of them. Well, her mother is the one who had a relationship with one of those gentlemen. And apparently the guy was blackmailing her mother. Who was right there, as you can see on the screen. That's her mother there. And they decided to get some street justice, okay, for the quote unquote blackmailing. And they ended up running these two men. Now it wasn't just them. There was two other people as well. They were arrested as well. And all of this is due to the choices that her mother made. Her mother is 47 years old and she's messing around with a 21-year-old man. How do you think that situation is going to unfold? You have a 21-year-old who financially ain't there. He sees a lick, which is her mother, because from what it seems like, her and her mother are like besties, right? You got these older women, they have these daughters, right? And they want to be their daughter's best friend, as you can see from the screen cap that I had up. They hang around with each other in videos with each other. They're like friends. Right, to the point to where her mentality is to chase after younger guys. And by the way, she had a 3-year relationship with this guy. He's 21. So you do the math. He's 21 at the time of his death. She's 47. So when she was 44, she started having a intimate situation with this guy. Right, and I'll show you on the screen. He's on the right. He's on the right, and the other guy on the left is someone who lost their life in the accident when they ran these two men off the road. But the one on the right is the one that she had a relationship with 3 years. They were messing around online mostly, but he has intimate videos and photos of her. Right, you start messing around with an 18-year-old. How do you think that's going to work out? Maybe it's the part where, they've been dealing with each other since he was 18 and she was 44. And maybe that's what she didn't want people to find out. And now her and her daughter have been sentenced to life in prison for the double murder. Life in prison. Instead of her going to the police and handling it that way, she and her daughter conspire to take the life of these two gentlemen because there was two men that lost their life. Honestly, I don't think that guy would have released those images and videos. I think he wanted some money out of her. She's an older woman who's desperate to be like her daughter, right? Because you got these older women. They didn't grow up in the social media age. You see, her daughter is a TikTok personality, influencer, YouTuber, and she wants to be like her daughter. She's influenced by her daughter, which is why she's out here messing around with 20 or 21-year-olds or 18-year-olds. He was 18 when they met, when they started talking to each other. He was 18. Ultimately, I tell y'all, these older women who have these daughters who are older, they want to be their daughter's friend, and they start to act and think like their daughters. To the point to where she agreed to do something like this. This was probably her idea. That's why she got life too. A lot of you older women are a disgrace. A lot of y'all are shameful. This is why this is why Gen Z women are the way they are, because her daughter's a Gen Zer. Her daughter's a Gen Zer. Gen Z women and millennial women are crazy. They're out of their minds. How a mother and a daughter, right? This woman, in her late 40s, messing around with a 21-year-old who probably still lives with his parents, who probably didn't even want to be with her. He was just using her. She probably was taking care of him, giving him money, right? And he probably started blackmailing her when the relationship stopped. A lot of you older women are making a lot of bad choices in life. I don't see a lot of maturity with these older women anymore. I just don't see it. So let's get into this news report here. And make sure y'all like this video.
Inseparable in viral TikTok videos. A British mother and daughter will now also serve life behind bars together. And Sreen and Mahek Buhkari sentenced for the cold-blooded murders of friends Saqib Hussain and Hashim Ijazuddin.
The fact that they're locked behind bars is clearly a relief. However, there's no real justice because my beloved baby brother will never come back.
The court heard it was a crime of love, obsession and extortion. 46-year-old Sreen had been having a secret affair with 21-year-old Hussain. When he threatened to leak explicit photos of her to her husband, she and her daughter lured him to a car park and recruited a group to steal his phone. Instead, they chased the victim's car at high speed, eventually running it off the road, killing both men in a fiery crash.
We have seen continued.
So she was married. At the time, I want y'all to notice, you got a married woman in her 40s, right? Let's be real. We have a woman of Muslim descent, Muslim family, and she's out here carrying on a relationship with a 20-year-old, and she would rather take his life than the thought of anybody finding out, you know? But the whole TikTok dancer should have been a dead giveaway that this was more than your typical average Muslim family.
Lies and deceit from the defendants as they tried to evade responsibility for the killings. They showed complete disdain for the lives of their victims.
5 others were also sentenced over their...
5 others? So, because I thought it was 2 others. So it was 5 other people, because you can see there were 2 cars. So I guess, you know, you had, you know, a certain amount in one car, a certain amount in another car, and that's how they were able to ambush this car and run them off the road. So all of these dummies, look at them. Just look at these dummies, right? All at the behest of these 2 heifers at the top. These 2 heifers here, right? A cheating heifer, and then you have her daughter, right? She got her daughter involved. Might even been her daughter's idea, who knows? Because again, her daughter's her best friend, what it looks like. All these people going to jail. And 5 of them had nothing to do with the situation. So how can y'all allow this woman to convince y'all to do this?
Their roles in the men's deaths. Upon learning her fate, the former influencer Mahek Buhkari broke down in tears. She'll be eligible for parole in her mid-50s. Her mother will be at least 70. 2 life sentences for taking the lives of 2 innocent young men. Jodie Lee, 7 News.
See, this was all because of the decision of one thirsty, horny woman who got bored, and she recruited her daughter to help her do something about this. This is where we're at. Instead of her not dealing, because you hear women all the time talk about how, you know, especially when they're older, they don't deal with younger men, you know, but in this, you know, nowadays, a lot of these older women, contrary to what y'all may think, they're out here dealing with younger men. I mean, look how, especially older women who y'all always see hanging around their adult daughters, they're trying to get young D. Every time you see a woman, adult daughter, when you see these older women around their adult daughters, they're trying to get young D. And they hang around their daughters in order to get access to younger men. Let's be real. They want to siphon that youthful energy for themselves. That's what it's about. And that's what she was doing. Woman was married, right? So why are you out here dealing with this guy. Because again, when they've been dealing with each other for 3 years. He's 21 when at his death. So he would have been 18 years old. 18. That's how thirsty she was, you know? And I don't think this was the first time. I think she's done this numerous times. I think she's dealt with younger men numerous times. Y'all want to know the type of older women that deal with younger men? The ones who always hanging around their adult daughters. If you see these women, these mothers always around their adult daughters, in putting up posts with them, videos with them, hanging around them, those are the type of women who will probably be out here messing around with younger men. Not just men who are young. He was a teenager when they started talking to each other. He was a teenager. That's how, you know. Being married didn't stop her from doing it. These women cheat just as much as men do. I wish people would understand that it ain't just the men out here cheating. It's the women as well. Especially the ones that are out here trying to act young and hang around their young daughters, siphoning that energy for themselves. Now, I don't know who exactly mastermind this, but I would not be shocked if her mother did. And she got her daughter to help her do it. And that's how they was able to get all those other people to do it. Her daughter. Her daughter's an influencer. She probably knows a lot of people. It's ridiculous. You shouldn't have been messing around with this young guy. You're sending him pictures and videos. And it's like, what were you thinking? Were you that thirsty? Were you really that thirsty for some young D that you put yourself in a position? Now, again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying what happened is right. You know, the guy effed around and really found out, you know, and that's why you got to be careful, man. These women are not playing. If they have a whole family, you know, culture, that they don't want to look bad, and they will do whatever it takes to not make that happen, even sacrificing their own daughter. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.